well. I was expecting it to be good, but not this good. Like, I am in shock right now. Like, genuinely in shock. Like, yeah, I knew it. It was a big SpongeBob movie. I'm usually actually mostly positive on these things. I'm one of the only people that doesn't hate Saving Bikini Bottom after all. So, yeah, I mean, I got the shirt. I got all dressed up for it. Even got a brand new lanyard for it because I don't have a necklace. And I went into it with my expectations high, but cautious because I know how bad SpongeBob can be sometimes, as we'll go forward to in depth in June, for when we talk about season 7. But I was still not ready for what this movie gave me. You all saw my trailer reaction. You guys knew I was excited about it, but even that did not prepare me for what this movie gave me. Now, yes, I'm aware this movie leaked a while ago. Many people got to see it early, I know. But I decided to do the right thing and actually wait for its official release. Same thing I did with Sponge on the Run. So, yeah, no early screening this time, unfortunately. But it was definitely the first thing that I did today. Like, after I got my coffee and everything, sat down, turned on my Netflix, watched this movie. And I'm not going to be surprised if this ends up becoming my movie of the year. Yeah, in only 3 months, we have probably my favorite movie of the year. Animation or otherwise, because the Plankton movie is one of the best things modern SpongeBob has ever done. Ever. And I'm not going to be able to do it justice no matter what words come out of my speaking hole. So, all I can do is give you my written review, tell you about my thoughts about it, and hopefully convince you guys to go see it. Seriously, go see this movie. It's worth a Netflix subscription for that alone. I subscribed for like 1 month or so, like the lowest plan possible, just to watch this movie. It's absolutely worth it. So, what's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, your number one source of brand animation, including a sponge that lives on a pineapple under the sea, as well as TV and movies. I'm your host, Jackson Small. Welcome to my review of the second spin-off SpongeBob movie, and the fifth SpongeBob movie overall, with Plankton the movie. A movie all about everyone's favorite problematic protozoan that went to college. I don't even know how to gather my thoughts here without this written review, but all I can say is that this movie's amazing. Like, if you are an old school SpongeBob fan, there is a lot to appreciate here, and it's arguably one of, if not the best project modern SpongeBob has done in years. So, I literally have nothing else to say. Here's my written review. It's long, it's detailed, it's lengthy. I'm a fan of this show. This is the most popular content on this channel, and we get to talk about it before the actual SpongeBob month, which I know makes all of you happy. So, without further ado or delay, here's my full, spoiler-free written review for Plankton the movie. I hope you enjoy. Yes, you can call it bias, since I've been a fan of this franchise for over 20 years, but I was really excited for this one. Another SpongeBob movie is always a delight to see, but with Plankton at the center and Karen as the main antagonist, had me counting down the days to its release with even more anticipation than usual. And now that it has breached the surface with the help of Netflix and Paramount Animation, it's time to give it the review it deserves. This movie's biggest positive is without a doubt its writing and its storytelling. While Saving Bikini Bottom juggled multiple storylines to varying degrees of competency, I liked the family thing, I did not like the science thing. Plankton the movie, however, focuses on one singular narrative, Karen and Plankton's relationship. That is the heart, soul, and driving narrative of this movie. Just that relationship. There's no extra stuff, there's no trying to do 4 or 5 things at once. It's just one simple narrative. One simple purpose. Karen and Plankton's relationship. Diving into that. deeper than this franchise has ever gone before. Yes, we've had episodes about this in previous seasons, yes. And a lot of them in the really bad seasons that I tend to ignore. But pretty much not since, I don't know, Friend or Foe, have we seen anything about Plankton dive this deep. Like, it is a deep dive into his origin, into his backstory, and into how he created Karen, what Karen started out as, and how the two fell in love. That is the heart and soul of this movie, and it works really well. Sure, it's been explored briefly in previous episodes, but this movie decided to really delve deep into their origins and how they became a couple, resulting in one of the strongest stories in the franchise. Yes, I know that may sound a bit blasphemous, but trust me, it is one of the strongest and best told stories in the entire franchise. Movie, episode, whatever, in all of SpongeBob. This also extends to the phenomenal writing, as Plankton's actual voice actor, Mr. Doug Lawrence, with the help of Kaz and Chris Vicardi, however you pronounce that, really focuses in on character development, themes of betrayal and love, and some of the funniest lines since the Golden Era, with Plankton himself constantly breaking the fourth wall, in a very Lion King 1.5 kind of way. Like, you know how Timon and Pumbaa kept interrupting that movie to make a joke or try to fast forward or rewind to certain parts of the movie? That is what Plankton does here. In the beginning and the end, he continuously messes with the fourth wall, literally interrupts the narrator. It is so funny. Like, it doesn't sound funny, but trust me, it is really funny. It reminds me of when Goku interrupts the narrator during that one recap episode of Dragon Ball Super. Like, it is ridiculously funny. And while pairing Sandy with SpongeBob in the last one felt a bit unnecessary, like, you could have cut SpongeBob out of that last movie and it probably would have been the same thing. Pairing SpongeBob with Plankton is actually a huge plus, as the two continue to show a great, fascinating dynamic that results in both laughs from the polar opposite personalities and some genuinely touching moments that forward both characters in pretty interesting ways. Think Sponge Out of Water, for example. The second movie in the franchise that had the two of them working together against a common goal. Like, think that, but much more emotionally driven. Like, that last one was all about teamwork and learning how to work together, or TM work, as Plankton called it, and yes, that word continues to stick in my brain. Here, it's all about SpongeBob trying to help Plankton emotionally. Think like I forget the name of the episode, but it's the episode from it's Single Cell Anniversary, that's the episode. Single Cell Anniversary, that's what it reminds me of. When SpongeBob tries to help Plankton woo over Karen. And it's really good. It is really good. Also, when I say this movie is genuinely funny, I am not exaggerating. This one's absolutely hilarious. Whether it's the wordplay jokes, the visual gags, the background details, which include a lot of references to both previous movies and previous episodes in SpongeBob. And I know some people get really fed up with the references because they do it so often nowadays in the show, but in a movie like this, it's actually really cool. Like, I'll give one minor spoiler. We do get to see the big robot from the beginning of Sponge Out of Water again, which is really cool. But that's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say is keep your eyes peeled on the background details. There is a lot of references. The character dialogue, or just how everyone interacts off of each other. It always results in a laugh, and it feels very old-school SpongeBob. Which makes sense, since both Lawrence and Kaz are writers from pre-movie, with several gems under their belts. Then there's its many other strengths, like its absolutely gorgeous 3D animation. Like, this is the best 3D animation in the entire franchise. It's better than Sponge Out of Water, it's better than Sponge on the Run, and it is leagues better than it was in the Sandy movie. Like, the Sandy movie looked fine. I did overrate it a little bit in my review of that one, but Point is, the animation from that one, barring the weird live action bits, was solid. But this, it's gorgeous, it's textured, it's detailed, it's well animated, it's fluent, and it's just beautiful to look at. It's bright, it's colorful. Like, it doesn't feel half-efforted. Like, it feels and looks so good. Like how a theatrically released SpongeBob movie would look. Like, yeah, I do think that Sponge on the Run has the better style of the two, because that one goes for a much more unique style, but this one, it's some of, if not the most gorgeous 3D CGI in the entire franchise. Oh, and Camp Coral. Camp Coral was decent, animation-wise. As well as some great 2D animation in places as well, which is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. Don't at me with that. A ton of delightful music that's right up there with some of the best in the franchise. I'm a Jerky Jerk, definitely being the standout. It's like a big rock opera, but it kind of takes the Has-Been Hotel Loser Baby approach by making you think it's going to be all about the character changing their ways just to say, nope, we're not going to do that. Stay tuned on my other channel, because I'm going to be reviewing the soundtrack, because the soundtrack of this movie is amazing and deserves its own review. So, seriously, that and I Am Plankton are the standout tracks of the movie. Perfect pacing that takes its time to let every scene have its moment. Like, nothing feels rushed or formulaic here. It lets every single scene have its moment. Stellar runtime of under 90 minutes, making it a very easy watch. This movie is very short. It barely counts as a feature-length film, but trust me, it works really well, and it uses every single minute to its advantage. Karen living up to the hype as an incredible main antagonist. Karen is amazing in this movie. Like, she is not only justified in why she becomes the main antagonist, but she is a genuinely threatening main antagonist, and it's really good. Like, the little bits you see in the trailer is just a small offering of what you get here. Karen is a phenomenal main villain, and I hope this isn't the last time we get to see her go full bad guy. Like, amazing. Absolutely amazing. The Gal Pals getting more spotlight than the usual main characters like Squidward and Krabs, resulting in a ton of unique distinction from the previous films. Yep, you heard me right. Squidward, Squidward, Krabs, Patrick, the series regulars are mostly all just cameos or brief appearances. Heck, Squidward's just in there for like a few seconds and barely has any lines. And instead, we get to see the Gal Pals front and center. We get to see Mrs. Puff. We get to see Sandy. We get to see Pearl. We get to see Pearl forefront. That is such a nice thing to see. High rewatchability, outstanding voice acting, and a chaotic final act that results in a wonderful ending. The ending of this movie, it's sweet, it's touching, but it's also funny in that perfect SpongeBob way. This is more than just another experiment from college. It's a masterpiece of mechanical engineering that fires on all cylinders from beginning to end. Plankton the movie is a delightful, charming, hilarious, gorgeously animated, fun, heartfelt, and all-around spectacular addition to the SpongeBob franchise that displays an astounding amount of creativity and incredible work from the entire team involved. Sure, it won't be for everyone. If you don't like SpongeBob, you're probably not going to like this movie very much. Which, understandable. Because the movie's not for you. If you don't like SpongeBob, the movie's not for you. But this is, without a doubt, the best movie I've seen this year by a mile so far, and one film that nobody should miss. Whether you are a diehard SpongeBob fan, a Plankton fan, an animation fan, a lover of film in general, a kid, an adult, a teenager, there's something here for you. It's simply a must-watch. It's the best movie of the franchise since the original SpongeBob movie, the best modern SpongeBob project to date, yes, that includes the specials from seasons 10 and 11, and probably more than likely going to be the best SpongeBob movie since the original movie. Now, I'm not saying it's better than the original movie, absolutely not. That original movie is timeless. I rated a full review on that, but my point is, this is now my second favorite, right above Sponge on the Run and Sponge Out of Water. Like, this movie is fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. I cannot wait to watch it again. I can't wait to listen to the soundtrack more. Like, I just love this movie, man. It lived up to everything I wanted it to be as a SpongeBob fan that's been a fan of this franchise for over 20 years, and it lived up to everything it promised. And it is easily the best of the two SpongeBob spin-off movies. Like, even as someone who doesn't hate Steve Bikini Bottom, I definitely agree this is the better of the two. You gotta check this one out. It will probably more than likely be my favorite movie the entire year. Call it bias, I do not care, it's my opinion. That is why my final verdict for Plankton the movie, aka SpongeBob Movie 5, is a high, well-deserved, scale-breaking 12 out of 10. This is a fantastic movie. I absolutely loved it. It's a very easy watch, and I think you'll love it too. Absolutely check this out by any means necessary. It is definitely worth watching, and it is a strong contender for Best Animated Movie of the Year. It feels great to always talk about SpongeBob on this channel, and I know that you guys feel the same because it's the most popular content on this channel. So, yep, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Sponge-tacular videos like this almost every single day. As I said, stay tuned to my other channel, Sane77, where I will be reviewing this movie's soundtrack in detail. And until the next video, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Take care, my goofy goobers. Lesson how to forget. So listen and you won't regret. Be true to yourself, don't miss your chance, and you won't end up like the fool who